Hello, everyone. Today we are going to introduce William Shakespeare and his play Much Ado About Nothing. Our group members are Lance, Tolkien, Austin, and me, Robin. So, first we are going to introduce the history of Much Ado About Nothing. Born in April 26, 1564, William Shakespeare was a famous English poet, playwright, and actor. Being regarded as one of the greatest writers in English history, William Shakespeare has written 39 plays, and Much Ado About Nothing was among the most famous comedy play he has written. The background of Much Ado About Nothing is quite simple. The story takes place in Messina, Italy. Though the story doesn't express the time clearly, we now assume it takes place in 1571, due to the war mentioned in the story was likely the Battle of Lepanto of 1571. Because of this, Shakespeare has included many characters from different parts of Europe in the story, like Aragon, Pardo, and Florence. The historical context during the Shakespeare's time also has great influence on his story. Shakespeare has wrote his comedy over the course of 1598 and 1599, during the Elizabeth era. Queen Elizabeth I was ruling England when Shakespeare has written much of his comedies, including this one. His comedies often include mistaken identities and gender exchange, where male will pretend and dress up like female and vice versa. This technique of humor was explicitly designed to help ease the anxiety of English society during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, as people cannot accept this sudden change in gender rules. Also, Shakespeare likes to use sources material or prior texts that inspires him. In his plays, including this one, one of such sources that inspired him for the characters in Much Ado About Nothing is a poem from 1591 called Orlando Furioso. It was written by Lodovico Ariosto and may provide the story of Claudio and Hero's love story. Act 1. I heard there are 3 boys coming today because they won the battle.
I heard Claudio his talent on military during the battle, and Benedict will also come. I don't like him. Every time I meet him, he will argue with me for a long time, which makes me feel unhappy.
My dear Lady Destan, are you yet living?
Is it possible Destan should die while he has such meat food to feed? Is such a Benedict? Christ is a much convert to Destan, if you come in her presence.
Thus, as courtly a turnabout, but it is certain I am lord of all ladies. Only you accept it. And I could find in my heart that I had not a hard, for true I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a possession suitor. I thank God and my cold blood. I'm of you a hormone for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Did you notice Hero?
I did not pay too much attention.
Why, I think she is the sweetest lady that ever looked on. I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Well, it's unnecessary to find a woman to marry, because I will have a richet written in my forehead due to woman. In order to be finer, I will live in a branch.
Dear Prince, I want to ask you something.
Feel free to say.
I think I'm feeling in love with Leonato's daughter, Hero.
Well, you want to marry her? I can talk to Leonato, and I think he will agree with marriage.
I will be very thankful if you do this.
Hello, lady.
Will you tell me who you are?
Not now.
That is disdainful, and that I have my good wits out of 100 merry tales. It was Benedict that said so.
Who is he?
He is the prince's jester, a very dutiful. Only his gift is divesting impossible slanders, none but liberties taken in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his revenge, for he both pleases men and angers them, and they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he is in the fleet. I would he have bothered me.
When I know the gentleman, I will tell him what you say.
Hero finds her mate and I hope I can find another for Beatrice. But she mocks all her words out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
My lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Come, you shake the head at so long I breathe, but I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go duly by us. I will in interim undertake one of Helios' labors, which is to bring Senegal Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I will fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it. If you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
I'm unhappy about my brother Claudius' marriage. Do something to stop this.
Yes, my lord, I have an idea. Find me meet over to your grandparents and content Claudius alone. Tell them that you know that hero loves him. Intend a kind of their both to Princess and Claudio, as in love of you brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend reputation, who is thus like to be conversed with the semblance of match, that you have discovered thus, they will scarcely believe this without her. Offer them instance, we shall bear no less black hold than to make her chamber window. Hear me call Magna Hero, hear Margaret term Claudio, and bring them to see this very night before intended wedding. For in the meanwhile, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be upset, and there shall appear such seeming truths of Hero's disloyalty, that journey shall cause assurance and all the preparation overthrow.
Be cunning in the working days, and the fee is 1,000 ducats.
But I know that I have tonight wounded Margaret, the lady Hero's gentlewoman. By the name of Hero, he lends me out of her mistress' chamber. Window beside me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale very. I should first tell though how the Prince Claudio and my master planned and placed and processed my master's long drawn. So afraid of the conqueror in this unbearable encounter.
And thought the Margaret was hero?
Two of them did, the princess and Claudio, but the devil, my master, knew she was merchant, partly by his oath, which first possessed them, particularly by dark nights, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villain, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made, away when Claudius in range sworn he would meet her, as he was appointed next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, she heard with what she saw all night and sent her home again without a husband. Stand, come up the right, master constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lingerie that ever was known in the Commonwealth. A company in question, I warrant come. We will obey you.
In the wedding, angry Claudio curses Hero and it makes Hero faint. The pastor tells Hero to pretend to be dead and makes Claudio feel regret. At that time, Beatrice lets Benedict to kill Claudio in order to prove he loves her because Claudio sullies Hero. At that time, Benedict is calm and knows he should not have accessed this impulsiveness. After everyone knows the truth, Claudio feels great regretful and he married Hero again. At the same time, Claudio and Hero give the letter that written by Beatrice and Benedict to them, and two couples come together too.